How's it going, guys? And welcome to our 2021 Civivi preview. Civivi new stuff coming. Just exciting new stuff from Civivi this year. And we actually have some sweet knives on the table, but we also have Seth in the house from We Knives. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. So happy to be here.
Dude, it's great to have you here.
First time in the Blade HQ studio.
I know, I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is Seth is actually local here in Utah, so he's able to be here. So we're pretty excited not to have to do a Skype call or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. And you have brought a lot of really neat designs. This is not clickbait. Trust me, guys. Hold on for the last knife. It's going to blow your minds. And a lot of these are prototypes.
Yep.
Yeah. So, guys, when we're mentioning specs on these knives, some of the steels may change in production or something. So check the website for current pricing and current specs. And Seth, what's the first knife we got on the table?
Let's start out with some exciting news that I wanted to mention. Wanted to let everybody know that Civivi is starting a family.
Okay, these are big steps. Big
Yep.
steps.
Yep. It was a tough decision, but it's the right time. Let's talk about our fixed blade Elementum.
Ooh, yes. I am so excited about this.
Yes.
Yeah. So what's the story on this? Obviously, Elementum inspired, right? A lot of the a little bit bigger than a regular Elementum. We actually have a regular Elementum on the table. I mean, most of you guys own one of these. If you don't own an Elementum, pause the video, go buy an Elementum. Best like $50 knife you can buy. I'm not saying that because Seth's here. Like, I say this all the time on camera. So a little bit bigger than the standard, obviously.
Right, a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
People are asking for this type of, the next step, I guess, from the Elementum. They're asking for all kinds of different things, and we're doing our best to try and give the customers what they're looking for. So we've got a nice full tang fixed blade here.
Yeah.
This is going to be your kind of get everything done fixed blade type knife. It uses a lot of the same design styles that we use in the Elementum. You can see the little finger guard right here looks almost exactly like the flipper does when it comes down on the standard Elementum. So really cool stuff here.
Yeah, no, really awesome. And the one that I have in my hand has a G10 handle with, this is a D2 blade. And I think the one that you have, if I remember right, it is also a G10, and that is a 8CR, 10CR?
It's a 10CR 15 CO.
Yeah, so yeah, a 10CR, just a nice 10CR blade. Yep. And this D2 version comes with a really nice Kydex sheath. It says Civivi on it, so I'm assuming this is probably real.
That's the Bob Trezzola T-clip.
Cool. So this is what the actual sheath will look like.
Yes, correct.
Perfect. And then yours still in production, but that will have a leather sheath.
Correct.
That comes with it. Pretty cool.
Yeah, this is a really slick handle on here. It's a kind of a polished G10. It's contoured to give you a really good grip on it. Flares out a little bit right here by the bolster for a nice pinch grip. Just really classy looking with the mosaic pins in it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It needs a leather sheath.
Yeah, it needs a leather sheath. I agree.
I actually, believe it or not, I quartered an elk with this knife this year.
Right on. Now, it doesn't have a very deep belly, but it worked out for you.
I wouldn't call it a hunting knife.
Yeah.
It definitely wouldn't, but I had it, and
let's try it out.
There's an elk. Let's try it.
Cool, right on, man. That's awesome. Right on. Okay, cool. And next up, we have, I believe it's the Brazen?
The Brazen.
Is that correct? Yeah.
Yep.
So what's the story with the Brazen?
One of my favorite things that Civivi started adding this year is some thumb studs. The thumb stud action that we're getting out of the Civivis and the We Knives is really, really awesome. So we've got a flipper tab and a thumb stud, G10 handle, and D2 steel.
Cool. Yeah, and a little bit of a, I wouldn't call it big necessarily, but in the Civivi lineup, definitely broaching out of that medium size into the bigger size knife, right?
Yep.
And then you've got a drop point there, and comes in a Tanto, which I was excited to see. Cool knife though, and D2 steel. We always love to see a good D2 out of Civivi. Nice liner lock there, and then that beautiful Civivi deep carry pocket clip. So yeah, sharp, man. And that's the Brazen, right?
Brazen, correct.
Cool. Now the next two are really exciting because these are firsts. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm wrong.
You're correct.
Yeah. So we have the Nox. Is that right? Okay, guys. I literally just learned about these knives, and we have it's like Perf.
Perf.
Oh, it was so close. Like perforated, not perforated.
It's the perfect perforated knife.
I love it. So we have the Nox, which is the solid stainless steel framed knife, and then we have the Perf, which is obviously stainless steel, but with the windows in it, a little bit of cutout on it.
Yep.
And the first that is about this is a frame lock. So this is Civivi's first frame lock. So you got a nice stainless steel frame lock, nice deep carry pocket clip. And if I remember right, these come in a Nitro V steel.
That is correct.
Cool. Right on. Now, I know there's another knife on the table with Nitro V. Is there a designer tied to these knives?
This is a Civivi design.
This is Civivi. Okay, cool.
In fact, all of the knives that we just talked about are all Civivi designs.
Yeah.
The next one with the Nitro V is not.
Is not. Yeah. So I was wondering because they both share the steel, right?
Yep.
You guys will see in a minute. You're gonna be excited. Cool. So Nox and Perf.
Perf.
Perfect. I need to remember perfect, not perforated. Perforated. Anyways, really cool to see just a nice stainless steel frame lock.
Yep.
And still has that great filling action. You know, a lot of Civivis are. I mean, we have some brass and coppers here at Blade HQ, but a lot of G10s, a lot of woods, a lot of things like that. But still has that same great Civivi feel and action to it, which is awesome. Cool. All right. So next up, you're gonna have to remind me the name of this one.
That's the Riffle.
Not the rifle.
Not the rifle. Everybody's gonna call it the rifle,
Yeah.
but it's the Riffle.
2 Fs, not 1 F. I called it the rifle too. So this is the Riffle. And again, you know, when we compare that to the Brazen, right? You've got it's for the Civivi lineup. I feel like this is kind of that medium, almost broaching on a larger folder for the Civivi line. So.
Yep. Very, very Civivi-esque.
Yeah.
Both of those knives.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this one here I have. It looks like on my card probably.
Yep.
On this one here, and then what do you got over there?
I've got on my Carta as well.
Cool.
Try the middle finger flip with this guy.
Oh yeah, because it's got the window in it,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I'm actually not
Nice.
very good at that.
Yeah.
But this knife, it works for me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, great action, really, and that's what you want when you're trying to do a flick open. You want something with a decent detent, so you can really load that finger up, and that's got a really nice detent to it. And you know, again, I don't know if you watch Knife Banner. It's okay if you don't. It's fine, no big deal.
What is Knife Banner?
Yeah, what's Knife Banner, right? But we really do love the action on these things. They're just great. And this one looks like it has a micarta backspacer to it. Again, nice deep carry pocket clip. And the blade steel on this is 14C28N. Is that correct?
You got it.
Yeah, so variating from the D2. Now, if you guys don't know, 14C28N is, it's actually, okay. So I'm going to be careful because you guys know when you just casually talk about blade steels on the internet. So do your own research, of course. But casually, 14C28N is very similar to D2 in edge retention. It's a lot more corrosion resistance and a little bit easier to sharpen. So I do love me a good D2 on my Civivis. Elementum's a great example. But it's kind of neat to see a steel that really is superior in corrosion resistance, easier to sharpen, and almost exactly the same edge retention as a D2.
Yeah, we're doing our best to pick the right steels for the knife and also listen to the customers in the marketplace. And, we get a lot of people that are just kind of D2'd out.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of D2 on the market, which I got no problem with, but it is real. It's a real thing. Yeah. So, like I said, if you guys haven't heard of 14C28 and not 14C MORV or whatever it would be, check it out. Look it up. Knife Steel Nerds is the way to go. He has got some great information over there. Now, I had jumped the gun on this one a little bit. So what's this next one on the table?
We got the Brad Zinker design.
Yeah.
This one's the bow. Love this little knife.
Yeah.
Nice flat ground blade, flips right out, super lightweight, carbon fiber, Nitro V steel. This guy, this is just your perfect office carry knife.
Yeah.
Or for whatever.
Yeah, whatever you want, gentleman's carry or whatever.
Yeah.
Or if you just need a lightweight knife, right?
Yep.
And with that Nitro V blade, it's got a really great blade steel on it. And that was one thing, I think you mentioned, that was one thing that really stuck out to me was how light this was.
Yeah.
And I can see inside the liners on this are like heavily skeletonized, which is really cool. So nice, lightweight gentleman's carry. This one's got a stone wash to it. And really cool. I guess it's kind of a marbled carbon fiber, I guess?
Yeah, like a marbled, shredded marbled.
Yeah, I like that shred. Whenever we don't know something on Knife Banner, we just say modified.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a modified marble carbon.
That's right. This thing comes in less than 2 ounces.
Yeah, super light.
Super light.
Yeah. And then, when as soon as we held these, I was like, okay, who's the designer on this? Right?
Yeah,
And you're like, Brad Zinker. I'm like, of course. Right? So if you like Zinker designs, this feels very much like a Brad Zinker. And great Civivi. Great addition to the lineup. Now the next one's kind of cool. This is kind of an interesting little. I'm gonna use the word weird. It's kind of weird, and I like it. So what's the story on this guy?
This guy is an Ostapel design, and man, I really like this thing. I've got one in my pocket today.
Cool.
And I've been carrying it for a couple of days. I think it's the perfect box opener. Now it's not gonna shred cardboard.
Yeah.
But it's a little double detent knife. Flips right out, and then it just comes into a perfect little spot to put your finger on there and just shreds through some tape or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
No
for sure.
lock, so you just pop it back shut with your finger. Awesome little design. I talked to Ostap about it. He told me that he called it the Civivi for a couple different reasons. The Ki stands for Kiridashi, so it's a Kiri style blade.
Right. Yeah.
And then the V references some of the shapes in the design that he used. And he made reference to the kiwi bird from Australia as well, the small little bird.
Yeah, something small, or like a kiwi fruit, kind of a smaller
which
fruit.
Which is exactly what I thought when I saw that natural one,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, oh, this is about the size of a kiwi.
Yeah,
and it's just awesome. I love it.
Yeah, it's a cool little utility blade. Nice jimping along the spine here. Nice deep carry pocket clip, and then like you said, it's got a double detent, slip joint, whatever word you want to use. But it flips open really nice, and that is the failing that I find sometimes with some of the smaller utility knives. Is they're a little hard to open sometimes. And I always like a good double-handed knife. That's always nice. But it's cool to have a slip joint or a double detented knife, whatever word you want to use. Because I know guys are very particular about this, right?
Yeah.
It's cool to have that where you can just flip it right open, no problem. So cool little
awesome.
utility blade. That's the Civivi.
Civivi. G10 handles, 9CR blade.
Yeah. All right, guys. So this is the last knife on the table, and trust me, I didn't hype it. What do we got? This is really exciting.
Are you gonna let me do this?
Yeah, this is you, man. This is you. Do it.
All right. Well, this is the other part of the family. So I mentioned that that Civivi is having a family. Well, we have the fixed blade Elementum.
Correct.
We now have a button lock Elementum.
Oof.
And
open it up. Show them how this thing works.
It's beautiful.
Dude, it's
a little
so
flip
good.
open and a flip shut. Okay, there's no flipper tab.
Yep.
There's no thumb stud.
Yep.
Just the button. Flip it open, flip it shut. It locks both in the closed and the open positions.
Yep. Dude, this thing is just awesome. Like, absolutely awesome. So, everything that you love about the Elementum, guys, very similar sizing. You get deep carry pocket clip. This one has the 14C 28N blade. Again, check. This is potentially prototype. Check the website for the current specs. And then I've got that standard Elementum here. So, if you've been feeling like your Elementum is maybe just a little small, this one is just a little bit bigger in hand and a little bit bigger in the blade than your standard Elementum. And the other cool thing about this is you guys have made it bigger lengthwise, but you haven't made it fatter.
Yep.
Right? Like it's not, and I haven't put a ruler on it. It might be just, maybe just a hair fatter. I think they're probably the exact same width or dang close, which is really cool because you have extra mechanism there with that button lock. Right?
Yeah.
So really, really neat knife. And dude, button lock, which is rad. So one-handed open and close, and then you open and close it with either flicking or letting the blade fall. And this is something that I was testing because not all button locks, like all little utility flippers, they're not created the same, right? So some things that I really liked about this, it flips right open, but it doesn't have a tendency to want to come back down. So if you're still depressed on your lock button when it gets to the top, it doesn't have a tendency to bounce and try to close again. And then when you go to close it, you can see here that you can and it will just fall shut, which is really cool as well.
Yep.
And then the other thing for me, I really am particular about my button locks, is when you go to close it, when you get that little bounce, it still just goes to the close. So sometimes with button locks, especially less expensive button locks, you'll get that bounce and it'll kind of lock up here.
Right.
But falls right to shut.
Yeah.
Dang cool knife, man.
It's awesome. It's the most fidgety knife that I've had in my pocket for a long time.
You had like 4 of them or whatever, and everybody who was in here looking at these knives, all 4 of them were just going the whole time, right? Like.
Yeah. And if you're standing there without one, you feel like completely left out, and you're just like dying. You're like, I want to be fidgeting with that. I want to be flipping it.
It's so good, guys. Super fun and great addition to the Civivi line. Now, I already know, and it has 2-way reversible pocket clip. I'm not a lefty, but I'm going to assume that's pretty comfortable left-handed as well. I mean, if I can do it left-handed, if you're left-handed, it would probably work just fine. So 2-way reversible pocket clip. So if you are a lefty, you should be able to pop that on the other side, get a pinch grip on it, and be able to use it that way as well. So if you're left-handed, let me know. But I would assume we could call this fully ambidextrous. I would assume so, right? Like it feels easier to close than a liner lock that's on the wrong side. So.
Absolutely. I mean, you can if you switch that pocket clip, and I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah.
A lot of our Elementum fans that are lefties they've been fairly loud.
Yeah, for sure.
about having a left-handed Elementum.
Yeah.
Well, you still can't get the standard Elementum
right.
as a lefty, but you have this, and you're right. You can stick it in that pocket. You're just going to use your pointer finger instead of your thumb.
Exactly.
And it's going to flip right out just perfectly.
Flip right out and then right to use.
Yeah.
Again, not a lefty, but it feels like that should work. So lefties, let me know. Lefties, we love you guys. You guys are very vocal minority. So we always try to have left-handed stuff, and it's cool to see something in the Civivi lineup that I think should work for our lefties out there as well. Cool. Well, that is really exciting. And then just as a final note for you guys, Seth brought something along that was debuted last year at SHOT Show, actually. And it's the little tweezers. This is a Bob Trezzola design, right?
It is, right.
Which I absolutely love because I know Bob Trezzola as like, you know, the godfather of modern tactical knives. And here are these like cool little tweezers, right? Brass body.
Yes.
Is that right? And then stainless tweezers.
Correct. Yep.
And so these weren't able to come out last year, but they are on the way now.
Yeah.
Cool. So if you guys were into the tweezers from last SHOT Show video, you can either check that video out or just check out the website. I'm sure we'll have a listing for these, and you can get these as well. So super cool, man.
It's good stuff.
So, well, you've told us what's in your pocket. You got your Civivi.
I have the Civivi,
and you got your button lock Elementum, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
I've been.
You gotta show them off. Show the good people what you got.
I've been fidgeting with that one. This one is the dark green micarta version.
Ooh, I like that.
It's beautiful. It's got the stonewash blade.
Yeah.
So I've been playing with this one, just getting used to it.
Cool.
And then that Civivi, I can't stop playing with this one either. So I've got two in my pocket that are super fidgety.
That's awesome. So you're a fidget guy then?
I didn't know I was, but I am.
It's like, turns out I am.
Yeah.
Great. All right, cool. So out of everything on the table, what's your favorite? You gotta have a favorite.
Oh my gosh. Button lock Elementum.
Button lock Elementum.
Yeah.
I will say that I am most excited about the button lock Elementum, but I think the first one I'm gonna buy when these become available is the fixed blade. I think,
good call.
Dude, I think this is the one that this is gonna be my first 2021 Civivi right here. It is really cool and it feels great. Like, whew. Yeah, I'm excited.
Good call.
A lot of great stuff on the table. Guys, let us know down below what your favorite one was on the table, and make sure to check out our playlist that we have going for all of this kind of new arrival stuff coming this year for 2021. And Seth, thanks for being on, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching our preview of some sweet 2021 knives. Make sure to subscribe to Blade HQ for more content like this. You can find all the knives in this video over at bladehq.com, and down below you'll find a sweet 2021 playlist for all the new knives that are out there.